So here with Rich Kleiman, just to be here tonight, what does it mean to you?
It's special. I think I was just telling someone earlier, New York City and basketball are probably the two things that I feel like define me the most and have given me the opportunity to do what I'm doing professionally. And, I think this is long overdue, and it's cool to see all these things, displayed in one room, and it's like memories throughout my childhood, so it's pretty exciting.
How would you define New York City basketball?
Man, for me, it was everything. It was. I think everybody has a different relationship with basketball, and they're not always the same, and it's not always based in like playing at the highest level. So I know from being around athletes and obviously being around Kevin, someone that's clearly playing it at the highest level. Their relationship is one thing. For me, like basketball was an escape growing up. Being able to lock in on a Knick game for 3 hours, or being able to, go to the Garden or go to a summer league game. I mean, I did everything. Like I went to charity games. I went to like Mark Jackson's wheelchair game that he would throw at the Garden. For me, that was everything. That was an escape. And, I think, New York, whether people want to say they're the best or not, it's clearly, where basketball feels like the most natural and the most authentic. So for me, this is incredible.
Yeah, so you mentioned Kevin, you're his manager, you're his agent, you're his friend. There's the Kevin Durant that we all know, and then there's the Kevin Durant that you know.
Yeah.
What should we know about him personally?
I'll be honest. I think you probably. Listen. As much as like I don't know your friends personally. Yeah. You don't know that side of him. But in terms of what a public figure can present to the world, like Kevin is as much of an open book as anybody, and you see it.
Yeah.
You see it. He's someone that he loves hard. He loves what he does. He's loyal. He's smart, and he's probably one of the best basketball players to ever play. So, I think Kevin is, Kevin is not afraid to let people know who he is and show people. So, I think you know enough. You know.
What's the Kevin Durant story you think that would describe him best for people who don't know him? Between you and him, is there one?
No, nothing funny that I can think of. Even though like our relationship is a funny one, but I will say that like for me personally and anybody, you need somebody that believes in you, whether it's a coach for a player or whether it's a family member or a friend. But for me professionally, like Kevin gave me the belief that no one else had really given me, and gave me the power to kind of operate in the way in which I like to do things, and believed in it. So for me, like he's I'll do anything for that dude. And I think outside of that, he's honest, and that's a breath of fresh air in this world, man.
Seriously.
So like he ain't gonna, you might not like what he says, but he's gonna tell you the truth.
As a fellow agent, what was your reaction to the Leon Rose hire with the Knicks?
Well, I'll sound like a real pro when I say that I don't know if they officially hired him yet, but if
Fair enough.
what I'm reading is true, I love it. And I said that earlier to someone else, like. People get caught up in like feeling like you need to have experience doing the exact job you're getting hired for, but like with
He's
Leon,
a connection guy.
yeah, and he's successful. Like good people that bring good energy into a place, that know what they're doing, that are educated, and that people want to work for and root for. Like they're gonna win, and I'll root for Leon, and I'll do whatever.
Worldwide West too.
Yeah, again, if that's true, that's cool. Wes is an OG. You know what I mean? So. I think that's awesome, and I'm off people like just trying to knock the Knicks. I think people have a really
100%.
good time like knocking the Knicks. Like it's fine. The Knicks will be fine. You know what I mean? They're gonna be fine.
You sent out a tweet back in February 2018. You said, I'm gonna run the Knicks one day.
Yeah.
And obviously you don't have Leon Rose's job, but if you were in that position, just what would you do if you were running the Knicks? Try to.
Well, that tweet was like any kind of. That was the kind of youthful side of me. That was.
And I can appreciate it because you like to have fun and be honest.
Yeah, and like I wasn't thinking twice about it. I was thinking out of it like I would have wrote that when I was 8, and I'll write that when I'm whatever age, So I don't know. I can't answer that because I don't, and I didn't even think about it or talk about it. I just know that it's not rocket science, you know what I'm saying? And Jim Dolan is not like this like one of one who can keep the Knicks from being successful. The Knicks will be fine, and Leon's going to do a great job. And it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things where like the highlighting of the Knicks being bad because they're in New York, because
100%.
it like continues to spiral is way bigger than you would imagine it to be. You know, it's like they were in the second round of the playoffs, whatever it was, 8-9 years ago, and it hasn't been ideal, but maybe it's time now. You know, they got cap space, they got picks, they got Leon if that works out, and honestly, like I think that if you look at Jeff Van Gundy and you look at Lawrence Frank, you look at some of these people like that, you never realize when a great coach sometimes is coming, and you know, maybe Mike Miller is that guy, and I wouldn't be so quick to just kind of like assume that he's gone, and you know, maybe the Knicks have really stumbled on something special, and you know, we'll see. I think it's time that people just chill out. Like it's just like it's not even fun to talk about the Knicks anymore. Like
it's such a negative like hate topic.
Yeah, let's talk. By the way, and also like let's talk about the Nets, man. Like, and I'm not saying this as just because Kevin's there. It's like as New Yorkers, like nobody made decisions to go to the Nets in lieu of the Knicks. They made decisions to go to the Nets because of who the Nets are, because of the team they built, and like that's not talked about enough. It's like they didn't go there because they didn't want this. How about they wanted that? You know, and it's like I think that it's going to be an exciting time in New York. And we should just enjoy that. And if you think about what this museum is about, like, let's get back to this, like the root of New York City basketball, when we weren't just knocking people and teams for no reason, we just celebrate how fun it is to be like a New York basketball fan.
100%. I was going to ask you, the next thing was going to be about Brooklyn, and when Kevin is hopefully back next year and Kyrie and everyone is back, what is basketball going to be like in Brooklyn?
Yeah, well, he'll definitely be back next year. Basketball will be incredible in Brooklyn. Like those two guys, man, sometimes I just like, I look at the calendar and I'm trying to speed through the weeks so I can make sure like whenever it's time again that I don't miss a single minute of what it's going to be like when the two of those guys are on the basketball court together. And it's not just the two of them. It's the foundation they build. It's the team they build. It's, man, I really, really want to make sure it's clear. Like, I think people need to spend more time harping on the culture and the organization that the Nets built and like seeing how the players on the sidelines are dancing on the side and seeing how hard Kenny works and Sean Marks doing this incredible job. Like it's always been about what the Knicks didn't do right, and it's like
it's more about what Brooklyn did do.
Let's leave the Knicks alone and let's focus on what the Nets did, and let's also like root for the Knicks. Like it's too much. So, you know, it'll be good, and hopefully if Leon does get this job, like I think Leon is the guy. I really do. I really do.
Final thing here, I'm just fascinated. The Stephon Marbury documentary. What was the motivation to put that together?
Man, the documentary was put together, and Cootie and Chike, two directors who I've respected forever, had directed the movie, and the movie deserved to be seen by as many people as possible, and they reached out to us to see what we could do, and for me, it was a no-brainer. Like, second I heard it,
Marbury's a bad dude.
And also just like, you know, there's those people in your life that are important. Like, when you grow up in New York City, he's important. He represents things and times, and like, I remember going to see Golden Hoops at Columbia University with Felipe Lopez and Shamgod and Stephon, and like, man, that was it. That was everything. So like, people don't realize what happened to Steph and what he ended up doing for himself in China, and like,
He's a god there.
And he should be a god here, and he should be in the Hall of Fame, to be honest with you. So I'm just excited to be able to celebrate his story.
Rich, I appreciate it, man.
My man, appreciate you.
Awesome.
All right, bro.